Good morning. Good morning. We are so delighted to be with you this morning for another week of our spiritual 52-week challenge. And
Yes.
as we know, our scripture is 1 John 4:4. You are of God, little children, and have overcome them because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. And we want to share with you and challenge you today on a simple, overlooked, common word that I know is needed in all of our lives.
Definitely.
And that word is simply respect.
Respect.
Um, respect. God has a way of pulling things. We have as my wife said last week, we have a little bag full of words, and we just shuffle them up, and we'll pick a word and leave it up to God what word to give today. That word came up, and uh, like I said, it's a simple word that we all know, we all have heard, and have been challenged to use over and over again. Well, we
Yes.
want to challenge you today with this simple word of respect. I have my wife read the definition and come in her way.
Um, the definition of the word respect is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Um, and to me, definitely the word respect carries a lot of weight. We have to be respectful of ourselves. We have to be respectful of our spouses. Um, we have to make sure we respect our children, and our family, our friends, our coworkers, our church members. You have to be respectful, and that we always hear that term. In order to gain respect, you have to give respect. Uh, so you have to be respectful. Definitely, you have to be respectful of people's time, of people's things. Sometimes we take for granted uh, being respectful towards one another,
Mhm.
especially with people's time. If you tell people that you're going to be there at a certain time, you're going to do something at a certain time, be respectful of that because people have other things to do that they maybe have lined up for that day. They may be having to say, hey, okay, at so and so time, I'm going to need to meet you at this time. And then within the next hour, they have to be somewhere else. So we as people need to be respectful and know that, hey, we have to be there on time to do what we said we were going to do. We have to be held accountable to our word because our word is bond. So definitely, there are a lot of different, like I said, a lot of different ways, a lot of different people that we need to be respectful towards in a lot of things. And uh, we just have to be mindful that respect goes a long way in this
Mhm.
world and in this life. I'm gonna let my husband uh, chime in because of course you probably can tell my voice is a little bit going in and out. I haven't been feeling my best, but I'm here, by the grace of God still, and praying that I get a better day by day.
Um, One thing I want to challenge you about respect and share with you is uh, respect does not always mean that uh, another person has to do what you have want them to do, or think the way
Definitely.
you want them to think, or act the way you want them to act. Respect means that you respect them enough that you respect their opinion. Even if you may be on two different paths, or you may think two different ways, but you still have to respect that person and
Definitely.
respect their thought, respect what they're thinking. And you may not have to agree with them, but you still got to respect them,
Right.
and that's one of the big things I see going on in our world today, that we think respect means you agree with me or I agree with you. No, respect means I uh, admire you for who you are, and and I know that God created you just like he created me. And if you think one way and I think another, we should be able to sit down, respect each other, and talk about it and live together without fussing and fighting, without any animosity or hatred. You know what I'm saying? Even if we disagree,
Right.
we still should respect each other. You know what? When I'm in your presence, I know you don't like this, so therefore I'm gonna respect you enough for these 5 or 10 minutes to not do it or say something. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yes.
So that's about respect. We forget that we think respect is all about what I want, what goes the way I want it to go, or how I think. No, respect is about you looking at that person or that other person and being able to say to them, I may not agree with your philosophy. I may not agree with your situation, but guess what? I respect you. And I always use small things. Sometimes uh, it's funny to me as a believer, as a Christian, that we can respect people in the world with worldly things, but then when it comes down to ourselves or the Christian faith, uh, it's either my way or no way,
Right.
or so it's kind of funny, we can you may not agree with if you drive, for instance, I use small things. You may not agree with stop sign somewhere in the middle of a street. You may say, well, why in the world did they put this stop sign here? But every time you drive, you stop, don't you? Because you respect the law, you
Right.
respect that sign. You don't know why they put it there, but but you respect it because you
Yes.
know it was, or you when you driving, you see a speed bump. Why would they put these speed bumps right here? You don't go over them 100 miles per hour. You respect them. So the same thing with our life. You may disagree with someone, but guess what? Still respect that person. And
Yes.
y'all be able to have a mutual relationship off of respect, and that goes a long way. Um,
And something else, I'm gonna piggyback on something else that I said earlier about respecting people's time, but as well respecting people's things. If you borrow something from someone, be
yes,
respectful and give it back and take care of it. Don't give it back in a different condition than when you received it. Because when people give you their things or their time, though that's a value to them. They purchase that with their money, or they have value in their time. So we have to make sure that we just as my husband said, be respectful in all aspects of life. you know uh, from waking up every day, be respectful of your spouses. Let them know that you respect them, and make sure that they know uh, how you feel towards them, and so forth. And just make sure that, like I said as well earlier, our children, we want our children to respect us. We want them to obey us and do as we ask. But we also have to make sure we let them know that we respect them as well. We respect their voices, we respect their ways, and acknowledge that, because as he said, no two people in this world are the same. We
right.
have different opinions, we have different thoughts, we have different ways that we do things. And sometimes I laugh because wives, and women, we're guilty of this. Sometimes we want our husbands to do things a certain way. In raising our children, or cleaning up the house, or doing something. We want them to do things our way, but again, it's not our way. We have to be respectful of the ways that they do things and the way that we do things, and come to a common ground and be respectful about that.
And I know you can't see it, but I'm wearing a shirt that with a saying on it that my mother would always tell us as if you can see it, just a simple shirt I had made. My wife made it for me. That my mother would always say, "Do right by others, and God will do right by you." And in other words, she was telling us, you respect other people, do right by people, respect them. Uh, and if you respect someone, if you do right by somebody, guess what? God sees that, and
Yes.
he blesses you and them, but he blesses you for doing the right thing. So uh, that's one of the pet peeves. I was in my parents' house. My mother would always tell us, especially if we fighting as boys, we fighting against each other and all that. Mom, she would always say, "Do right by others, and God will do right by you." So it was just a something that always stuck with me down through the years, and I hope it helps you as well.
Yes.
Uh, so we want to, just challenge you this week to show some respect, respect, respect other people, respect yourself. Well, I
Yes.
didn't even get on that part, but respect yourself. And before I close, I got to say this. Uh, uh, Please, let's teach our young people to respect themselves. You know,
Definitely.
if you don't have no respect for yourself, how you expect somebody else to respect you? And I tell the young men that come in my barbershop every time, I tell them, um, you got to respect yourself. And they said, well, I do respect myself. I said, not if you showing me your underwear when you walking, your pants hanging down. You ain't respecting yourself, you know, because I don't want to see your underwear, so
Yes.
you gotta respect yourself, and when I tell them that, they start laughing and say, Rev, some of them call me Rev, some call me coach. They said, Rev, you so crazy. I said, but just think about it. They said, yeah, but you telling the truth though. I said, yeah, because if you don't respect yourself, you telling that person, you can treat me any kind of way, and so if you want to be you want to be treated with some respect or with some honor, then guess what, you have to carry yourself that way. So respect yourself, respect others, respect other people's time, respect other people's property. Like my wife said, just we challenge you this week to use that word. Just don't let it roll off your lips.
Definitely.
Use it from your heart. Respect, use it. Respect one another.
And he said young men, but young women,
Yeah.
you got to make sure you respect yourselves.
Oh
We
yes.
don't always have to go out here showing all of our body. you know this is our body is God's temple that he gave to us. Save some for your husband when you get to that level and want to be married. So definitely cover yourself up. It is okay to cover yourself up. You're still gorgeous, you're still beautiful, whether you have on clothes from the top to the bottom. You don't always have to be out here exposing yourselves in order to think you're going to gain attention, because it could be the wrong attention that you're gaining. So definitely make sure you be respectful of your bodies and respect, and then like my husband said, you will get respect in return, because nobody wants to go out here and be labeled, uh, you know, so many things that the world can label you as a young lady, just because you're out here
Mm-hmm.
trying to follow the in crowd and trying to be
Yep.
out here and dress a certain way and be provocative. So definitely make sure that you always are respectful of yourselves, because no decent young man is going to approach you if he see that you're not respecting yourself and doing certain things in life.
Yeah.
That's just a given. You want to be making sure that you attract the correct people and not the wrong people. So definitely make sure you're respectful of your bodies, because this is something that God has given us. This is our temple,
Yes.
and we have to take care of
Yes. And I just got to say this too, dealing with what my wife just said. Even down to the young women, I want to throw you a little hint, a little side hint that most men ain't gonna tell you. They may date you, if if you want to show all your body parts, they may date you, but they ain't got you in the line of marriage. Every man want to marry someone like his mother or his grandmother. I don't care what you when it all come down to it, they want to marry a woman, someone like the reflection of their mother or their grandmother, or a aunt that they respect, some woman that they respect, real that they respect. You got that word, that they respect. So if that's who they want to really marry. So if you around here, if their mother ain't never showed all of her cleavage, but you out here just freestyling, showing your cleavage, guess what? He'll be with you for the day or the week. But when it come down to true relationship, you won't be nowhere considered
it.
in
Right,
his
right.
choice. Trust me. I'm that's a little hint from Reverend Freeman to you, so like my wife said, respect yourself, and then the other part of that is I teach my daughters, and women, I want you to understand this too. You have the power. You have the power to challenge any man to respect you for who you are. You have that power. And when you give it up so freely, guess what? You lose power. So you contain your power by you making that young man respect you. Make him respect you. Because if he can't respect you now, he's not going to respect you later on.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So I'm kind of I'm caught up in this word today, but that's we challenge you and hope it'll be a blessing to you.
Definitely.
Yeah. And our time is drawing near, so we just want to let you know uh, this spiritual week, we want you to use the word respect. Respect yourself, others, time, and other people's property,
Right.
and just allow that word to uh, come alive in you this week.
Definitely.
All right. So we want to leave you with our challenge, and our motto is challenge yourself to be better, because if you don't, who will? We love you.
God bless you.